Hello dear students, welcome to semester 3, specialization human resource specialization. Subject recruitment and selection by Maruti Sadavar, Assistant Professor AITM MBA. Recruitment and selection. So we'll be discussing the first unit, that is job analysis. Now let us understand some definitions before we start with job analysis. So what is the first definition? What do you mean by job? So job consists of a group of tasks that must be performed for an organization to achieve its goals. Each organization has goals, objectives. To reach that, the people, the team of that organization will perform those tasks. That is nothing but job. Now there are some positions are there in the company. So what do you mean by position? So position is nothing but collection of tasks and responsibilities performed by an person. There is a position for every individual in an organization. So if you see, each person will have some responsibilities. For that particular responsibility, the person is named as a position. Means he will be given a particular position to look after particular tasks and responsibilities. Therefore, it is called a position. Now let us understand what do you mean by job analysis. So what is job analysis? Systematic process of determining the skills, duties and knowledge required for performing jobs in an organization. So that is nothing but job analysis. Here if you see, it is very systematic process wherein we determine what are the skills required to perform the job, what are the duties are there, what is the knowledge required to perform a particular job. So that all involves a job analysis. So in this complete module we will be studying about this job analysis. Under job analysis there are few things are there which we are supposed to do. Now the first is job description and second is job specification. Now let us understand what do we mean by JD, that is job description. So job description is nothing but a document providing information regarding the tasks, duties and responsibilities of a job. So this is nothing but a JD. Suppose if you apply to a particular job, you will get a JD by the HR. Okay, job description. So you will study it, then you will apply for a particular position. So this JD is very critical for employer and employee. So employee will come to know what are the tasks, what are the duties and responsibilities he has to perform. Now there is something called job specification. What do you mean by this? It is a minimum qualifications to perform particular job process of defining a job in terms of its component tasks, duties and knowledge or skills required to perform them. So that is nothing but a job specification. Now the final thing is job satisfaction. So what do you mean by job satisfaction? So job satisfaction has been defined as a pleasurable emotional state resulting from the appraisal of one's job, an effective reaction to one's job and an attitude towards one's job. So this is the job satisfaction. So we understood what do you mean by job. It is nothing but a tasks to perform which is given by the organization. Position, the person who will be responsible for particular tasks and responsibilities. Job analysis, systematic process of determining the skills, duties and knowledge. Job description, a document providing information regarding tasks, duties and responsibilities. Job specification, minimum qualification to perform a particular job. Job satisfaction, a pleasurable emotional state resulting from one's job. So this is nothing but some definitions of job analysis. Meaning and definition of recruitment and selection. So let us understand now what do you mean by recruitment, what do you mean by selection. So what is recruitment? As you have seen in newspapers, the recruitment is there. Okay, so job vacancy is there. So let us understand what do you mean by recruitment. So recruitment is defined as the process of identifying and making the potential candidates to apply for the jobs. Now in this recruitment, here we try to identify where are our prospect employees and how can we make them apply for the particular job. So to give an example, you must have seen Indian Army, Indian Navy, Air Force, they are giving the advertisement for particular jobs wherein it is called recruitment, means they try to identify which are the potential candidates who are there to apply for this kind of a jobs, and what is this job involves, what kind of a challenges this job is involving. So this they showcase and they make them apply for this job. They try to inspire them through their advertisement and make them apply for the jobs. Either they give the newspaper ad, TV ads, okay, or employment news, or in some electronic media, and they try to do the recruitment. They do the announcement of the jobs and they try to make them apply for this particular job. So that is nothing but recruitment. What is selection? Selection is defined as the process of choosing the right candidates for the vacant positions. Now, there are many people who will be applying for your jobs. Now, this involves you choosing the right candidates for a particular vacant position. Suppose now we require software engineers. So, selection of such candidates who have applied from the people. So, that is nothing but a selection. Now, this recruitment and selection is the process of identifying the need for a job, defining the requirements of the position and the job holder, advertising the position, choosing the most appropriate person for the job. This is what is a recruitment and selection involves. Let us understand the recruitment process in brief. So what is this recruitment process involves? Suppose if you see this is broadly classified into three things. One, stage one, wherein we define our requirements. What is our job description and what is the job specification, means what are the tasks and duties and what qualifications we require. So that is how we define the job. Then stage two involves attracting the potential employees. Here it involves the job advertising. We give the advertisement in newspaper, in TV ad, in electronic media. So this is the stage two, wherein we try to attract the potential employees. The third stage is selecting the right people. Okay, so here it involves job interview and different types of the tests being conducted. So this is the three stages of the recruitment process: defining the requirements, attracting the right potential candidates, and selecting the right candidates. Let us understand the purpose of recruitment and selection. What is the purpose of this? So broadly, if we see, these are the purpose of the recruitment and selection. The first is ensuring uninterrupted business process. Suppose if we are started a business without any interruption, to function it smoothly, we need people. So there may be some vacancies will be created, or some new positions, or some existing vacancies will be there. Okay, so filling this requirements is nothing but the purpose of this recruitment and selection. Second is identifying the present and future personnel requirement. So there may be some present requirements we may have to run the business smoothly, and there may be future requirements which we may have in the pipeline, because we may be getting new projects, new businesses, expansion plans. So we may be requiring more manpower. Okay, so in that case also we need this kind of a recruitment. So this is the second purpose. Third is acquisition of maximum number of relevant CVs. Having more and more relevant candidates in the pipeline or collecting their CVs is also the purpose of this recruitment and selection. The fourth is improving the cost effectiveness. When we are planned for this, so we will not end up in any emergency. Okay, so therefore it goes in a smooth scientific way. So it improves our cost effectiveness because of the planning. And finally accelerates the selection process. Because of this recruitment and selection, it accelerates, it enhances, it improves the selection process. So these are the purposes of the recruitment and selection. Now few more purposes of recruitment and selection. If we see, so the first here is attracting and empowering and increasing number of applicants to apply for the organization. This is the first purpose. Second, with this recruitment and selection, we build a positive impression of the recruitment process. Okay. Third is creating a talent pool of candidates to enable the selection of best candidates for the organization. When we do this kind of a recruitment processes, it shows that we are very transparent and we get the best of the candidates through this. Next is to attract and engage people. It needs to achieve its overall organizational objectives. As any organization will have so many objectives, goals, it helps in achieving all these things. So this is the purpose of recruitment and selection. Increases the pool of job candidates at a minimum cost. Here with this kind of a planning and recruitment selection, we minimize the cost, recruiting the right people who will fit to the organization culture and contribute to the organizational goals. With this we can be able to get the best fit to the organization, and we will be able to achieve and will be able to contribute to the organization goals. Determine the current and future requirements of the organization. So there will be present requirements, there will be future requirements, all will be met with this kind of a recruitment selection planning. It helps in achievement of the choice process by diminishing the number of unmistakably underqualified and overqualified work candidates. There may be underqualified people, there may be overqualified. With this proper recruitment and selection process, we may select the properly required right candidates for this kind of jobs. It helps in decreasing the likelihood that the activity candidates once enlisted will leave the organization after a brief time frame. So we will be knowing how to handle the employee turnover. Some employees will be coming in, some employees will be leaving because of their personal reasons. So in this, it will help us minimize this and handle them best. Meet the organization lawful and social commitments with respect to synthesis of workforce. So we will be able to meet the social commitments also. To begin and identifying the preparing potential applicants who will be appropriate candidates. There will be many applicants who will be very potential and they are opt, and we will be able to identify them with this kind of a process. Increment organization and individual effectiveness through this kind of a selection process. Evaluate effectiveness of various recruiting techniques and sources for all types of job applicants. With this proper scientific recruitment selection, will be able to have very effective recruitment techniques. So these are the few more purposes of the recruitment and selection. Now let us understand the final part in this method, that is methods of job analysis. So here we will be understanding various methods of job analysis. Suppose if you want to do the job analysis, particular job is there in your organization, we want to analyze it. Now what are the different methods are there, what are the various methods are there, that we'll see. In that, first here is interview method. Okay, as you know, here we have two categories. One is individual interview method, second is group interview method. What do you mean by individual interview method? So using this individual interview method, a team of job incumbents is selected and extensively interviewed. The result of these interviews is combined into a single job analysis. This method is effective for assessing what a job entails and involving employees in the job analysis in essential. Here you can see, as it is an individual interview method, so individual, a team of job incumbents is selected. Okay, so whoever are job incumbents are there, they are selected and extensively individually interviewed, and on that basis the method of job analysis is done. Wherein if you see the group interview method, the group of interview method is similar to the individual interview method, except that a number of job incumbents are interviewed simultaneously. Here the one-to-one interview will happen in individual interview method. Here simultaneously, okay, the number of incumbents are interviewed simultaneously. So this is what is the difference between individual and group. Here in a group simultaneously the interview is happening, means they will try to understand about the job in a group simultaneously. Accuracy is increased in assessing the jobs, but group dynamics may differ the effectiveness. Okay, so this is what is the difference between the individual interview method and group interview method. There the person one-to-one basis interview, in-depth interview is happening. Here simultaneously the group views are understood, okay, about a particular job, how this job is important, how to perform this job, what kind of candidates are required. All things are done in this kind of a job analysis method. This is one of the methods of job analysis. The second method of job analysis is questionnaire method and structured questionnaire method. As you have seen, the many students will be doing a projects internship. So they try to collect the opinions of the respondent through structured questionnaire method. It is similar to that. Here the topic is only job analysis. Means we will try to understand to a particular job what kind of inputs are given, and the method is structured questionnaire method. It is simple. Under the structured questionnaire method, workers are sent a specifically designed questionnaire on which they check or rate items they perform on their job form, a long list of possible task items. This technique is excellent for gathering information about jobs. However, exceptions to a job may be overlooked, and there is often no opportunity to ask follow-up questions or to clarify the information received. Here, when the subject or information is complex and when it is more, then this kind of method is used, wherein it is more of a quantitative than qualitative, wherein the objective kind of a things has to be attained, then this kind of a method can be used, wherein a set of questionnaires, okay, will be sent to the workers, wherein they have to give their opinion, they have to check it, they have to rate it, and on their performance, okay, what they perform on a particular job on this list of tasks. So on that basis the analysis will be done. Okay, so this is the second method of structured questionnaire method. The third method of job analysis is task analysis inventory. So the job agents provide ratings concerning a large number of tasks. Most analyses require responses for at least 100 different task statements. These task statements usually begin with an action verb that describes a specific activity. For example, explains company policies to newly hired workers and analyzes data to determine the cost of hiring each new employee. So one rating is for frequency or time spent and the other is for importance. Ratings of frequency of performing the task range from never performed to a performed most of the time. Ratings might also be made for the time spent on the task. However, ratings of frequency and time spent essentially measure the same thing. Ratings for task importance usually range from not important to extremely important. If you understand here the task analysis inventory, what all tasks are there, different tasks are listed. On that basis, they will be analyzed. Examples like large number of tasks will be there. Okay, they require responses for at least 100 different tasks. Okay, so the task statements will be given like as he have given here, performed most of the time, never performed. So all the tasks will be at one end and these statements will be opposite to it. And now you have to, the employee has to rate here whether it is done as never performed or it is done as performed most of the time. So on this basis the job analysis will be understood, which tasks are done mostly, which tasks are most important, which tasks are less important, which tasks an employee does over a period of time, which tasks the employee never does, and which he thinks is his job. So with this we will be able to understand what is the job actually. So what he thinks, the employee thinks on different tasks. So there is an inventory, means there is a list of task analysis. So each employee has to select the different statements like never performed, highly performed, okay, extremely important, not at all important. Like these statements will be given, so they have to select. On this basis, the analysis will be done. Therefore, it is called a task analysis inventory. The next method of job analysis is position analysis questionnaire. It is also called PAQ. PAQ means Position Analysis Questionnaire. It is a structured questionnaire that assesses the work behaviors required for a job, such as information input, where and how a worker obtains needed information such as education or experience, mental processes like reasoning and decision making activities, work output, physical actions required for the job, as well as the tools or devices used, relationships with other persons, the interactions and social connections that a worker forms with others, job context, the physical and social surroundings where work activities are performed, other job characteristics, activities, conditions, or characteristics that are important but not contained in the other five dimensions. If you see here, it is also a questionnaire, okay, which involves the position analysis. In particular, position will be tried to understand through these information like mental process, a work output, relationship, job context, other characteristics. So all these things will be captured with this kind of a questionnaire. Means a particular position is assessed, okay, and his work behavior required for a particular job. Suppose there is a job for the particular job, what kind of a behavior is expected. Okay, so depending on the mental process, work output, relationship with others, all these are analyzed with this kind of a position analysis questionnaire. The next method of job analysis is subject expert workshop. As the name suggests, it is the subject expert means who is well versed with the subject, who is knowledgeable in the subject, who is skilled in the subject, who has rich experience in the subject, has to be conducted a workshop. Means the workshop will be conducted of these subject experts to understand a particular job. So it is also called a technical conference method. The technical conference method uses the supervisors with extensive knowledge of the job. Here the job specific characteristics are obtained from the experts. Although a good data gathering method, it often overlooks the incumbent workers' perception about what they do on their job. So here, as the name suggests, here the experts in this particular job are conducted in a workshop, and their opinions, their suggestions are taken for the particular job analysis. Therefore, it is called as a subject expert workshop. Suppose there are around 4-5 people are there who are doing this particular job from 5 to 10 years, 15 to 20 years, or they are about to retire and they are very experts in the particular job. So these kind of people's workshop is conducted and this particular job is analyzed. Their views are taken, their suggestions are taken, and then only it is analyzed. So this method is called subject expert workshop. The final method in this job analysis is critical incident technique. Now, what do you mean by critical incident? So critical incident technique identifies good and bad on the job behaviors. Job agents are asked to generate a number of statements that describe behaviors they consider particularly helpful or harmful for accomplishing the work. Each statement includes a description of the situation and the actions that determined whether the outcome was desirable or undesirable. Suppose if you see here, the critical incidents are analyzed. Depending on the critical incidents, the job analysis is done. Now, what do you mean by critical incidents? Suppose you consider some things as a good behavior in particular job, like if you consider example of a teacher solving the queries, doubts, inspiring the students is a good behavior, and not solving the queries or not able to inspire the students or not creating a curiosity in the minds of the students for a particular job is a bad on the job behavior. So like this, each job has a good and bad behaviors. So this is analyzed on the basis of critical incident technique. So here the number of statements that describe this kind of a behavior are considered here, which are helpful, which are harmful. So for a particular job, some behaviors are not good, those are not helpful, those are called harmful. So then those will be considered and this job is analyzed. And there will be some behaviors which are in the favor of the job, which helps in improving the job. These are called as a helpful behavior. So these are also listed. Okay, so this kind of a situation where the description of the situation and the actions, they determine the outcome which is desirable or undesirable. So if you understand in a broader way, critical incident method understands the good and bad behaviors on the job. So some behaviors which improve the performance of the job, which helps in doing the job better, are the good behaviors. Which tries to spoil, which tries to reduce the productivity of the job, are nothing but bad behavior of the job. So in this critical incident method, these kind of behaviors, these statements are considered, which are helpful and which are harmful, and these will be considered for analyzing the job method. Okay, so this is one of the methods of job analysis, wherein the critical incidents are understood, which are good for the work and which are not so good for the behavior, means the bad behavior and good behavior. Good behavior will help or helpful, bad behavior for accomplishing a particular task. So this is also one of the methods of job analysis.